10 years after a convicted murderer turned his life around, becoming a leader and an activist, he is back behind bars again. Jerome Wright's arrest for an alleged parole violation has his supporters now shining a spotlight on New York's parole system. Tonight, 7 Eyewitness News reporter Madison Carter explains why some leaders in the community are now calling for justice.
We are going to pray heaven down until he's released.
Pastor James Giles, leader of Buffalo's Peacemakers, spoke at a rally held for 58-year-old Jerome Wright in Lafayette Square this week. Nearly 100 people gathered to question the reason that put Wright back behind bars after 10 years on parole. 10 years his supporters say he never had a single violation.
Jerome is just one case out of many of how the system malfunctions.
Wright was sentenced to 20 years to life when he was 18 years old for second-degree murder, manslaughter, robbery, and burglary. In 2009, he was released and made Buffalo his home.
The criminal justice system is broken, and the parole system in particular is just an affront to everyone who has anything to do with it.
Back in November, he was arrested for allegedly failing a routine drug test.
He hasn't tested positive for drugs for 30 years. He hasn't had a single curfew violation, nothing.
In the 10 years since he's been out of prison, he's become an award-winning activist, calling for changes to solitary confinement, a leader in his church, and a mentor with Buffalo Peacemakers. He's also the sole supporter for his family.
He has a Down syndrome son, and his wife is largely disabled. He's the caretaker for them, and he's away in jail now.
Ralliers called for change to the parole system, which they blame for unfairly jailing Wright before he's convicted of anything.
Even if all these charges were true, it would be ridiculous that he's been in jail for almost 7 months now.
Well, just a few moments ago, the parole board responded to our inquiries about Wright. It says the story about his arrest is simply false. The state says he evaded and then failed that drug test. It also claims he attacked and hurt multiple staff members while they tried to take him into custody during that violations process. As for the length of his jailing, the department says he fired his attorney, prolonging the hearing process. In studio tonight, Madison Carter, 7 Eyewitness News.